Kai's fault. I never talk too much.
Welcome back to the second part of this post-game press conference. We now have with us Philippine team head coach Tim Cohen and player Kai Sotto. Coach Tim, your thoughts about the game?
Well, I really like the way we worked tonight. We just really worked hard on both sides of the floor and did that throughout the whole game in 48 minutes or 40 minutes. I think we have to remember that Chinese Taipei played a top 20 team just 3 days ago in New Zealand. They're a top 20 world ranked team, and they played them all the way to the end of the game. I mean, the last 4 or 5 minutes of the game, they were in the game. So we played the same team, and these guys just worked their tails off and made them look bad. And they're not that bad. They're a really talented team. So especially impressed with the way we were able to continue to work and defend them and give them a hard time.
Kai, your thoughts about the game?
Same. As Coach said, Chinese Taipei is not a bad team, but we just came out strong defensively, and we played good team defense, and then the offense just came in after. Just happy everybody contributed offensively and defensively, and I'm happy that everybody enjoyed. They had fun, the players, the fans, and I'm happy we got this one.
Now we open the floor for questions from the media.
Coach Tim, Dennis.
Yeah, I know.
Coach, just your thoughts on having that 2-0, but within it, a great start for a 4-year program that's geared towards returning to the FIBA World Cup.
Well, we were just talking in the locker room about how this kind of feels like an ending right now because we don't play again and until another, 3 or 4 months, and or even 5 months, so it kind of feels like an ending for us, and we were like, wish we had one more game, another game to play, like next week or in a couple of days, so we could keep this group together. But that's not something we control. They got to get back. Kai's got to get back to his team in Japan and fulfill his contract, and the PBA starts in a few days, and so it's back to the grind. But I don't think there's one guy in our team not looking forward to June and getting back together and getting this thing going again. I think they all had a great time. It took a lot of work. It took a lot of work at Inspire Camp, and we didn't play well against Hong Kong in the first half. Had that kind of first game jitters, but since that first half, we've played the way we envisioned, in terms of being a defensive team first and sharing the ball and having a big guy in the middle dominate for us. And so that's really where we're going and where we, starting June, like I said, we're all looking forward to coming back in June. So this 2-0 start is great, but it's just a little baby step on the way. We need to make a lot more bigger strides as we go, and the next game we play is going to be Latvia, who's a top 10 or a top 8 or 5, 7 team, and they just beat Spain a couple days ago. So we got Latvia and Georgia coming up. So there's, that's can we get to that level? And that's going to answer more questions for us.
Thank you, Coach.
Hi, Coach.
Hi, Dad.
Hi. How soon are you going to be able to get the team back to prepare for the Latvia games? I mean, this core, to be able to go, up against players of that caliber, and how's it going to be done?
There's only a certain amount of things that we can control, and there's only certain amounts of time we can get everybody together. Get Kai and Dwight and AJ from Japan to come in, and so it's not like we can come out and prepare for months or even weeks. It's just really going to be, the agreement is we got 10 days.
10 days before you.
10 days before we actually play our first game against Latvia. So that might be 10 days here, where we're in Spire Camp every day, or maybe it's going out and trying to find some friendlies against some European teams so we can get a feel for the way they play. And we haven't all figured that out yet, but we're in the midst of figuring it out. We've got some invitations from Lithuania and from Slovenia and the Czech Republic, so we're gonna work our way through those and see what we can do. But the window for us to do it is only 10 days. That's our agreement with PBA, that's the agreement with the NCAA, UAP, and also the agreement with basically the Japan League. You know, they can only release them for so long for a FIBA window. So 10 days it is for us.
Just one quick follow-up for Kai. Kai, you look so happy out there. You look really confident and so suave with all your moves, and you're dominating under the basket. I guess you had a good, short, whether it was short training with the team, and how has it been? What do you think worked that enabled your team to really come together to come up with a game like this?
I think confidence comes from preparation, and I think we prepared really well. When we got to Inspire, we went to training camp. We trained twice a day. It was tough. It was tiring, but we learned so much. So as Coach said, it showed today. So if you're asking about confidence, it's just I'm very confident that we all worked together. We all got better together, and I got my brothers behind me to lift me up, and I'm gonna do the same thing to them. And I mean, it's just it's contagious. So it's good. It's a good team environment, and I'm happy with the result.
More questions?
Coach, what happened to Jamie?
He's sick. You don't want to, it's a medical thing, so I don't want to talk too much about it. Actually, he and Justin were both sick coming home. We got home from Hong Kong. They both got sick, and we were really afraid that neither of them will play, but Justin kind of bounced back, and he's still not a little bit under the weather. But Jamie is, we had to, when we contemplate bringing him to the hospital, he's that down and out. And so hopefully, he'll bounce back and get better. We sent our doctors over to him and put him on IV. But I think maybe some of the guys just got severely dehydrated, on the trip, and we didn't hydrate well enough. But I've got to be more cognizant of that, making sure that guys are doing that better. Kind of like a travel fatigue. That's really on us to make sure that doesn't happen. But viruses are all over the place, so you never know when someone's going to pick something up. But we did miss him tonight. He was supposed to be part of the rotation, and he was supposed to be one of those guys that defended Cheng Lu. We had him pegged to guard Cheng Lu, along with Nu and Calvin. So that hurt us when we didn't have him around. But Nu, I thought, did such a tremendous job defensively against him. He just got him really, really frustrated, and that's why Nu is there. That's why Chris Newsom is there. He's a great two-way player. He doesn't just play one side of the ball, and that's what we've demanded, right? From everybody. We've demanded from everybody if you can't be on this team, if you can't play both sides of the ball, if you're not willing to put it out there defensively, they're all offensive stars, but if you're not willing to put it out defensively, then you're not going to stay on this team very long. And right now, we got 12 guys committed to the defensive side, so I'm real proud of this team so far. Long way to go.
Coach, over here.
Oh, there you
Coach, congratulations, Noe. Your front line in this window, Kai and Carl Tamayo and Kevin Campbell, they all performed really, really well. How excited are you to be adding, June Moore and AJ Edu to that rotation?
And AJ Edu, don't forget. So we got a 6'10 and a 6'11 guy, two guys that are going to come out and join us when they're healthy. And we're hoping all 12 guys will come healthy in June. That's something we don't have control over, but we're just going to keep our fingers crossed. And But imagine, when we get to that European level, Jumar and Kai are going to be playing together. AJ and Kai are going to be playing together. They're going to find ways, because we're going to need to, because we're going to meet that kind of size when we play. So that's the thing we're going to have to work on in those 10 days that we have. Today we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to put bunch the big guys together, but we're going to have to bunch the big guys together when we play the European teams. And that's something we're going to have to learn as we go along.
Thank you.
More questions?
Kai, when you're playing alongside guys like Kevin, Carl, and you didn't play today, but AJ, obviously you have a good relationship with him. Those are guys who you have played with even in your younger years and leading all the way back to
Younger
you.
years? You're still only 21.
Extra younger years. But yeah, just
They're
what are your,
adolescent years.
what are your thoughts on playing with those three guys, seeing how you guys develop, and now playing on the international stage?
Yeah, I feel like we've already shared a really good bond ever since we were younger. So it really helps us when we get to the court. Sa Tagalog, parang wala nang kapaan kasi alam mo yun, may trust na sa isa't isa, and Carl, AJ, KQ, sabay-sabay kaming from Batang Gilas to now. So very happy na alam mo yun, na tuloy-tuloy, and I'm also happy for the older guys, Tito Japet. Tito ako siya lagi, Tito Japet, kasi nung bata pa ako, Tito tawag sa kanila eh. So I'm just happy for everybody na nag-contribute and contribute from the start till now, and I'm looking forward sa mga future na mga gagawin namin.
Just a quick follow-up. Si Kevin na lang yung
English.
Kevin's the only guy from the younger ones who isn't a pro yet. Is there any advice that you and Carl and AJ have, maybe given him on what to do for the next stage of his career?
KQ probably is the most quiet guy on the team, so I try to talk to him all the time, and he reached out. He told me about his plans, and I told him kasi I already experienced yung mga options na sinabi niya na meron siya, so I just gave him kung ano yung sa tingin ko yung opinions ko, and whatever I can do to help him, I'll be there kasi he's my brother. So yeah, I'm excited for him. He's pro ready already.
Yeah,
He's a very, very smart player. He works hard. So I'm very excited for his next step.
Thanks, man.
Kai being the veteran, at 22 years old.
Coach, just a follow-up to the question about the Latvia OQT. Do you wish you have more time to prepare?
Well, of course, you always wish, but yeah, you always wish you had more time to prepare. But we went into this whole thing, trying to figure out a system in which we could get the best players to play with us. And the problem is that you want more preparation. How are we going to get Kai here earlier to play? We don't have control over Japan or whatever. So, and then there's a disruption in the leagues, and and then all of a sudden it's hard to get a player, this guy or this guy. So we tried to come with a system that says, okay, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to make the best out of it. And but yeah, like I said, I wish we were practicing tomorrow. They don't, but I do. I wish we could keep this thing going, and but again, that's out of our control. And so we'll live with what we have, and that's our challenge. That's part of our big challenge, and that's why the Inspire Camp was so important and precious to us, because we knew that every moment that we had, that we would continue, that we had to take advantage of. And that's one of the reasons down the stretch of this game, even though we were down by 40 points, up by 40 points, we put in the first group for the starting lineup. And I told the guys, this isn't for you guys to run up the score, this is for you guys to have more time because we don't have much time together. So, we weren't trying to run up the score by bringing in the first group, but it was an opportunity for us to get that first group to go out and play together. Scotty, Calvin, Dwight, Justin, Kai. And that's pretty much going to be our starting lineup as we go forward, unless we have to throw in a Jumar or an AJ there to get more size. But that's kind of the group that's going to carry us. And then we have the young guys, and then CJ coming off that bench and as a whirlwind, as CJ always is. He's an absolute whirlwind. It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get from CJ. But most of it's all tastes good. So, and then you got the young guys. You got the young guys that step in and can give us that kind of energy. So it was an opportunity for us. So any opportunity we have is going to be precious because we know we have limited opportunities. So we have to do it that way. It's not unlike other teams. Like teams that are. If you look at the Latvia roster, you got 10 of those guys playing around Europe. They're playing in Italy, they're playing in Spain, they're playing, all over the place. And so for them to come together, they only have a short window to come together and prepare. So we're just trying to emulate some of the other teams, and we think we can be successful doing it. We really do. It's going to take some hard work by these guys, but the camaraderie is so good that that they're willing to work together. I mean, they really push each other. You can see it every day. And it's because of that strong camaraderie that they have developed. But I just want to also say, make no mistake, we have a long ways to go. I mean, this was a pretty game tonight. We went out there. We didn't go out there to make a show for everybody. We didn't go out there to show how good we are. We just wanted to go out there and work. It just turned out that way. But we also realized we have a lot of work ahead of us and a long ways to go.
Coach Tim, just your thoughts coaching Kai, since you also coach his dad, and a few days ago he said he heard a lot of good stories about you, and his dad was still playing for Alaska under you.
Well, I tell you, all Kai does is make me feel old. That's what Kai does. And the fact that I coached his dad, and I got two guys. I coached Japeth's dad also. I coached Peter and I coached Irwin, and now I got their kids. And Japeth always kids me. He says, now my son is going to be your player also. So 3 generations. But I got to be around for a while. I don't know if I can last that long. But yeah, it's a real honor to be able to coach in different generations. And I can see similarities in Peter and Japeth and Irvin and Kai. I can see similarities of the way they play. I can see it's fun. It's enjoyable. And obviously, after 34 years of coaching, you got some lessons to impart on younger guys, and I hope that I can continue to impart on him and Kevin and Carl and AJ. And it's a fun group to have. They're like blank pages, and you get to write on them. It's fun.
Fortunately, we only have time for one more question. We'll ask it.
Hi, Coach Tim. What will be Justin Brownlee's activities or schedule after this?
Well, you raised a really, really good question. Well, right now he's we don't have anything. He's had offers to go play overseas since it's all Filipino, and we're perfectly fine with that. We hope that he doesn't go to the D League or the NBA like this guy. Although, right now, if I may say about Kai, he is going to absolutely dominate Asia. I've always felt that. If you get him in the right spots, he can absolutely dominate Asia. For him, the next spot is to get up to the European level and the NBA level, and we're hoping that we can help him get into that level. And there may be a time when we might lose Kai. He may not be able to join Windows because he might be in the NBA, and we'll be very, very proud of that. But back to Justin, if he goes and plays somewhere, if he goes and plays in Europe or in Japan or Korea or the Middle East, which he played in before, he'll always be available for the window because he's a naturalized player. So if he goes and plays and he's got a contract through June, July, and August, he'll still, just like Kai, be able to come back and join us for the window. So we're all for him going out and staying in shape. He will definitely be back for us in NEPRA in the next conference after the All Filipino. He's already locked into that, so we'll see him here. But in the meantime, he's looking around. He's looking at offers, and he'll probably end up playing somewhere for a while.
And with that, we end this press conference. Thank you, Coach Tim Cohen. Thank you, guys.